Overall, when I was looking at the projections of what was coming out in October, it's really been pretty open on what's going to come in the entire fall season after nothing really that interesting besides Detroit 2 dropped in last month in September. Now projects that I'm really excited for to hear this year, such as Certified Lover Boy, New Kendrick, New Cole, all are looking to drop sometime in October and November. According to 2020 Hip Hop, we already know Certified Lover Boy's dropping this month. I'm not sure where that information came from. I'm not sure if Drake said anything. I don't think he did, so I don't know why they say that. It's a good prediction, but like, I don't know why they specifically said that. But in terms of projects that we know will be dropping in 2020, there are a lot that have just been, oh, this should drop this month because we've been waiting the other months and it didn't drop then. But one project I did not expect to hear this month was a new 21 Savage Metro Boomin project. Now, I'm not inherently a huge 21 Savage fan, mostly because I don't love a lot of his solo work. I don't think many of the tracks off of Issa album, that's the name of it, were that good. While I did enjoy I'm still not a rapper whom really appeals to me in his actual solo style. But for some reason, whenever this man goes with Metro Boomin, there's some magic these two have that makes them always work. Because in 2016, we had the first Savage Mode project. I wasn't around for hip-hop at the time, but all I can expect was that this was so surprisingly great. This album has a very dark, gritty sound to it. It has not as much bangers on it as it does more dark, trap-banging songs overall. It's 9 songs. It's like 9 tracks long. It's 30 minutes. It was a great project in my opinion. It was genuinely surprising. Then a year later, we got Without Warning, which is another Metro Boomin project that featured 21 Savage and Offset, which is possibly one of the most loved trap projects in recent times. People love that album, including myself. The tracks are all really, really impressive, well put together. The flows and energy are all great. It's 10 songs and all of them are great in my opinion. And I need to close this. No, wait. For 3 artists back in, I like Metro Boomin, but like Offset and 21 Savage are both artists I don't like, or I don't love at least, but for some reason, whenever these guys get in the booth together, they do something great. I was a little disappointed when I heard Metro Boomin say he wouldn't be working on it Without Warning 2. That's still on the table, but we don't know. But then on Monday, they were just like, oh yeah, we're dropping a Savage Mode 2 on Friday, which by the way is so hyping to me. In fact, we actually had 2 of my most anticipated projects, hopefully that were coming out in October, drop last night, being Savage Mode 2 Now, and also the Who Made the Sunshine, West Side Gun project, which I listened to. I liked it. I will review it soon. But Savage Mode 2 drops out of nowhere. Hip-hop Twitter's going crazy over this album. People have been talking non-stop on it. I see why. Anyone who's heard Savage Mode should understand how big of a deal it is that we got a sequel to that and how many 4 years later. So overall, this was a hyping project for most people in the hip-hop community. We're given the intro track, which is done by Morgan Freeman, which I think is interesting. Morgan Freeman gives, I think, 3 or 4 overall speeches across the project. And they're all really fun because not only do I like Morgan Freeman's voice, they use him to a very nice extent. And it's never to make some big actual point on the album. This intro track is actually a great way to open up the album. It kind of describes both of the men and kind of puts them into this box of you're watching Metro Boom or listening to Metro Boomin, one of the most loved producers in modern hip-hop, and 21 Savage. Not a rapper who's loved by everyone, but a rapper who has truly made waves in the game. And you already loved them last time, so here they are again for another collaboration. Then we're given the track Runnin, which I've heard a lot of people online call this the best on the album, and I personally don't agree. I do think it's in the lower half for me, but that's because of how great the second half of this project ended up being. But Runnin is a great way to open up the album nonetheless. There's a lot of energy to it. It's a little bit of a darker style song. It's not inherently horrorcore, but the piano sound isn't happy or upbeat. 21 Savage, man, this guy brings so much energy on this project, including this track. He brings so much energy in his verses. And Metro Boomin's production is so great across this whole album, but specifically on this track, he uses really nice piano sounds across it. It sounds really nice. It's not inherently one of the best on the album, but it's catchy, great, and overall just a great banger in my opinion. Then we get Glock In My Lap, which is another great way to follow up Runnin. I don't inherently like it more, but I do really enjoy what they go for on this one. It's a little more catchy. It's a little more hook-based catchy song. And while I don't like it as much, like I said, I do think it has a really nice sound to it. And overall, I don't have many nitpicks on neither of these tracks. I think they both open up the album on great energy and sound. It really gets across what these two do well. Then we're given the track Mr. Right Now, which will most likely become the big hit from this project. It features Drake. It's a little more of an upbeat sound. It's not going to be a track that, like, you know, it's not going to be one of those, like, underground tracks from this project. It'll blow up, definitely. And overall, it's probably the most upbeat sound on this album. It's the most catchy, let's make a fun banger style song. And I like it for that. I think Drake's verse is the highlight of the song. I think he works very well on this beat. Possibly better than 21 Savage. 21 Savage is great, but, like, Drake's overall flow and sound is really good. Truth be told, though, I really don't care about the SZA line. Initially, I thought this was a bad line because of, like, the age difference, but SZA would have been 18 then, and he would have been, I guess, like 24 or something. So it's not that weird of an age difference. I don't know why the internet really is talking about this line a lot. It honestly means nothing to me, and I don't know why I needed even to mention it. But overall, it's a fun track. It's a little more upbeat. It could be conceived as a little more cheesy, but I overall enjoyed it so much. Then we're given the track Rich N-word shit. I can't say that word. 2 songs on this album I cannot say the full name to, which is another just great catchy song. It's another great banger to it. It has a great Young Thug verse, which is surprising for someone who doesn't inherently love a lot of Young Thug's work. He sounds great on this. It's a nice track. It's about being rich and having problems about being rich. It's what you'd expect from modern hip-hop artists. But from this album, there's not as many songs from this that are... This album feels a little more street-centered than other projects, and this song isn't really like that, and I like it for that. Then we're given the track Slidin, which is, once again, for, I think now, the 5th time in a row, a great track. Like, freaking great. This is a little bit of a darker cut. It's very fun. It's very catchy. It's very banger-like. I'm reading my notes right now. It's not inherently mind-blowing, and it doesn't inherently push the boundaries of the album and what these two can do, but it works really well and has a great just sound to it overall, and I could listen to it many times. Then we're given the track Many Men, which I have seen on Twitter 2 might be considered the best on this project, and while maybe on a tribute standpoint, I guess it is, I don't think it's inherently my favorite. Nonetheless, though, this track is freaking great. 21 Savage's energy is off the charts on this one track, at least. Metro Boomin's production is great, and I love the way they're able to kind of tribute and call back to the original Many Men song, which now, in 2020, we have 2 songs that are officially dedicated to referencing just a song dedicated to referencing Many Men. We had Got It On Me by Pop Smoke as well. This is a great track. It's dark. It's nice. Metro kills the production, and 21 Savage has a great flow and energy across the whole thing. Then we're given Snitches and Rats, the interlude side of the song, which has Morgan Freeman explaining to the world what the difference between a snitch and a rat is. His explanation basically states a snitch is somebody whom will... and also, another thing he explains is a civilian sees a crime going on and they tell the police they're not a snitch or a rat. A snitch is somebody whom trades information and secret things about different groups or gangs for his own gain or for money, or it's just a trade-off or something. Rats are people whom, in order, because they get too scared, go and snitch. They don't actually, like, get any payment from it. They're just scared. So 6ix9ine might technically be a rat here, but I think it works really well for the project, and I love the final line where he goes, at least a snitch is a human. A rat, I can't do a Morgan Freeman. I can, but I really would rather not impersonate him. A rat is a fucking rat, period. It's a great line. I love that so much. Then we're given the track Snitches and Rats, the actual track, which is so good. This song is so catchy, energetic, and fun. I think it really shows how much this project is able to kind of back away from being nearly as dark as Without Warning or Savage Mode. It doesn't have nearly as dark of instrumentals, but it's as impressive, if not more impressive than those projects. It's fun, it's catchy, it's a huge banger, and at this point in the album, it's probably my favorite track. This track is just honestly a blast in my opinion. But from this point on, from Snitches and Rats till the end, we're just given like song of the year after song of the year or song of the year. I'm not even joking. My Dog is great. This song is so good. This is one of the most impressive songs on the project. It is probably the most dark sounding song. It has so many great flows and rapping from 21 Savage. The production is so rich and nice. The dark, more horrorcore sound of this sounds so good. The street lyrics, everything that this track combines sounds so good. Somehow, on this next track, he tops it and makes one of my favorite tracks I think I've heard all year. And I've only heard this album not even 24 hours. Steppin On N's. Unfortunately, I can't even say the full name. Yeah, this is seriously like one of the best songs. This might be my favorite 21 Savage song, like overall. Even, like, better than anything on Witho. Even better than Ric Flair Drip. Like, Ric Flair Drip. Even better than that. Or, Ghostface Killers. Like, man. This song is so freaking catchy. And it is so much fun. I am telling you, when I say the second half of this album is great, I mean it. This second half has so many just lovable, fun songs that I genuinely didn't want to end. This song ends at like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I could go for like 4 minutes of this, maybe even 5. This song is great. It shows how talented both of these men are. 21 Savage bringing in great flows, Metro Boomin bringing in some just phenomenal production. And honestly, 21 Savage, I want to talk about the flow on this song. That is the key point on this song that made me love it so much. He freaking rides this beat. And I did not expect it from 21 Savage, because while I do like his flow on all the Metro Boomin projects, I never expect him to go on a beat and just ride it, get every beat, get every note, like somebody like, I don't know, J. Cole or Joey Badass would do. Like, I'm not even joking. This might actually be as impressive as some Joey Badass material. This is energetic. It's fun. The hook is in my head right now. This is one of the best songs of the year, and I had so much fun across the whole, just this 1-2 minute song. I could listen to this so many times in a row. Then we're giving Bragg No Draco, which is yet another just hit in a row. It's another banger style song. It is so much fun. The flows and production are just on point, and just everything works about the track overall. It's more braggadocious fun. It's more spaced on the money side of this project. It works beautifully, and I love it so much. Then we have NOLA Opp Left Behind, which is probably the most emotional track on the project. Whatever emotional for 21 Savage really means, though. It talks more about personal things, not inherently, more just he talks more about the subject matter he has been talking about in a more emotional light. And on top of that, the beat is a little more depressing, sad, it's catchy. Overall, just another great track from this album. Then we're given Rip Love, which is another one of my favorites on this album, probably Steppin On N's, Noah Opp Left, and Rip Love are the 3 best on this project. This is a track that I really like, and one of the reasons I really liked it was I really liked how kind of more monotone it was and kind of more soft it was. The beat doesn't have much to it. It actually very much reminded me, when I first heard this, I thought, that reminds me so much of a different song. And I realized it really reminded me of, it doesn't just remind me of this, okay. It inherently reminds me of 2 songs, okay. It reminds me of Taken in Blood by Nas. It has almost an identical beat, actually. I don't think that's ripped off, by the way, and if it was, I don't care, it works great. It sounds very similar to that track, which Taken in Blood is probably like top 3 of the entire It Was Written by Nas. Then it also has a sound that, okay, I can't pinpoint where, but I think it's from Overly Dedicated or Section 80 by Kendrick Lamar. It sounds like, I think, a Section 80 track. And I'm not sure which one. It might be like Poor Man's Dreams. I don't think it is. Somebody just let me know in the comment section below. If you know Rip Love, comment what song if there's a Kendrick Lamar song that like really reminds you of it. If there isn't, whatever, but like, is there a song on Section 80 that you'd argue the opening at least sounds like it? Whatever I'm thinking of has male vocals as well in that intro. It's something from Section 80, I'm not sure. But I don't know Section 80 nearly as well as I know Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn. I think everybody can say that, honestly, every Kendrick fan. But it works really well. It's a little more of a thought-provoking, thoughtful track, actually. It's definitely less focused on making a fun banger, and the guitar at the end sounds great. And overall, the track just comes together great. Then we're given the track let me get to it. Said and Done, which is a really solid conclusion. It continues the more thought-provoking, less banger side of this. A little more emotional, thought-provoking. It's far more conscious than other songs on this project. It has a really nice piano beat with nice vocals, and it comes off with a final Morgan Freeman speech that's surprisingly kind of inspirational, and it is kind of fun with this final line of, "Stay savage, because anything else would be too..." What does it say? Oh yeah, too civilized. Savage Mode 2, I went into this project hoping for greatness. And I can say with ease, I got greatness. Like, this is genuinely one of my favorite, like not even top 5, maybe even like top 3 of this year. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed projects like No Pressure and RTJ4, and Alfredo. This was great, honestly. Every single track on this ended up being a blast for me. The only track, I think, honestly, my least favorite track on the entire project would probably, if I'm looking at this track list, you know, it's probably like Slidin or Rich and Shit. Like, one of those two. Or Mr. Right Now. And I love all 3 of those songs. This album had so much I loved about it. And not only is every track solid, and not only does 21 Savage's flows never fail, and Metro Boomin's production is always just sounds great. The way they're able to do different sounds on the project, make songs sound different than the last one, works together so great. And this overall was one of the quickest albums of the year in the sense that this did not feel like 45 minutes. I had a blast from the first second of the project to the last second of the project. While I can't say there's anything about this project that's mind-blowing or just like, oh my god, like, that's so emotionally deep. This isn't, let me just say, if you go into Savage Mode 2, number 1, do not expect something amazing. Do not expect, like, To Pimp a Butterfly or something like that. No, don't even go close to, like, that. Like, okay, go into this with the same expectations you go into, like, Without Warning or Savage Mode. Because then you'll love it more. I think by the way, sorry for coughing, I'm still sick. I think, honestly, between this, Without Warning, and Savage Mode, I think this one's my favorite. I think this one's the one I will end up revisiting the most. Seriously, the end of this album, the amount of bangers this album gave me, the amount of tracks that I loved. Overall, this is top 10 of the year. This is top 5 of the year. This might be even top 3 of the year. This was a great album. I had a blast from beginning to end. And while I will give it a rating that I've given it a lot lately, let me just say that compared to the last 2 times I've given out this rating, this is way better than those projects. I am giving Savage Mode 2 an A-. I would give it an A, but I don't really think that it reaches that limit. Very rarely what I give. I don't think there's really a scenario where I give 21 Savage an A- or an A rating, because that means amazing, and I don't know if I can really, I just don't know if I feel comfortable going there. But then again, compared to the last 2 A-, is this better than, or the last 3, is this better from King to God by Conway? Yes. Is this better than Detroit 2 by Big Sean? Yes. Is this better than King's Disease by Nas? Yes. This is a great project. I had a blast from the first track to the last track, and overall, I am keeping my eye out for more 21 Savage, because he is, and Metro Boomin, I don't know when they'll do another project like this, but they have proven to me 3 times in a row they know what they're doing. I'm actually really excited to hear what 21 Savage does next on his next solo album, because after I Am, I Was a success, I think this man can do something great. I think he can. Even though Issa album wasn't really that good, I think he can go somewhere, and I am genuinely at this point now where maybe I could call myself a 21 Savage fan. I'm not sure I can call myself that yet, but if he continues to do great, I will. What do you guys think on this project? I have more reviews coming this weekend. I will be reviewing the Westside Gunn album, Who Made the Sunshine, one of my most anticipated projects of the past few months, and I will be hopefully reviewing Bryson Tiller, his anniversary. And I did hear about YG, and I'm not sure if I want to, because I don't know if I want to review 4 albums in one weekend. But I was like, when listening to projects last night, I thought, I'm listening to Savage Mode 2 first. It's the one I'm most excited for. It's the one everybody's most excited for. But I am really excited for Who Made the Sunshine, and I have heard it. So I will review that hopefully tomorrow. I need to give it a second listen, because truth be told, I paid a little more attention to Savage Mode 2. I was tired when I heard Who Made the Sunshine. So I'm not really sure I can really review it yet. But I will review it soon. Do gotta say, though, what I heard last night, pretty solid, honestly. Savage Mode 2, what do you guys think of it? See you guys next time. Bye.